don't know how many of y'all are fans of diners, drive-ins, and dives and Guy Fieri, but several years ago, quite a few years ago, I believe even before I moved to Washington State, so more than 10 years ago, he did an episode on a brew pub in Olympia, Washington called Fishtail Brew Pub that made pretty decent beer, and their food was pretty decent, and it was a nice environment, fun place to go. Yeah, good stuff. Nice local hangout. Well, they went defunct a few years back. It might have been over COVID, or maybe a little before. I don't recall precisely. I kind of lost sight of them for a while. You'd see their bottles and cans on a few local store shelves, but it wasn't super widely distributed. Then a brewery bought the property in downtown Olympia and started brewing their own stuff. I have not been to their tap room or brew pub. I don't actually know if they even have one, but I have had at least one of their beers before, and I really enjoyed it. And it was Ilk Brewing. So I believe this is my second Ilk brew, and this one is called Spare Time in Bodega Bay. It is a fresh kiln red IPA, which we'll get into. But Bodega Bay, that's nowhere near Olympia. Nice. I think this is a good illustration of what red ales can be. Color-wise, that's a very pretty color. Just to the brown golden side of red, quite pretty. Reminds me kind of some fruited, like sparkling red wines, even in its color. It smells nice. It smells mild. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's pleasant. Definitely, it's amber red ale roastiness. So a little bit of roast, a little bit of smoky roasty to, well, not smoky, but roasty to the grain. The grain's been baked a bit more and has produced those Maillard has gone through those Maillard reactions, which produce different flavor compounds. What hops there are almost fruity, which is kind of funny that I mentioned that kind of a fruit wine color. I mean, I suppose this is maybe closer to a port wine color, but it has some kind of mild fruity character, like you're walking down a country road between mostly ripe fruit trees, that kind of aroma. It's a combination of like fruit in the sun and the warmth and greenness, plants. It smells good. I like the aroma. You need to turn that label away from me so I'm not tempted. Yeah, and depending on where you get your nose, it has kind of different aromas. See, that kicked up a lot more of the green. It's almost creamy now. Yeah, well, let's see how it tastes. Mild and pleasant. This is an easy drinker. So like a good IPA, it is a lot about the hops. The malt is definitely there, and it's pleasant. There is a bit of a creamy middle to it, but the primary and dominant flavors are this almost grape. I keep coming back to this fruity wine kind of thing. It's not really sweet. It's more creamy, subtle grape, along with some generic growing fruit kind of flavors. Yeah, that's really pleasant. But it's still bitter. It's still hops. The hops are really green. It's like there's a combination. There are kind of these fruity notes, and then there are these green and verdant and then slightly bitter notes. And they're all in there together. So it's a complex and multifaceted flavor. Not too complex, but multifaceted, definitely. Multifaceted flavor. They're all working, they're all there, and it's pleasant. It's quite pleasant. I like this. This is a like it's enough of an IPA to make an IPA person happy, but it's not so much of an IPA as to blow out someone who's maybe not a hop fan. Yeah, this is really pleasant. I'm actually kind of wondering what my wife's reaction to it might be, because she is not a hop fan. Yeah, this is really good. I'm enjoying this quite a lot. This makes the second Ilk beer that I've really enjoyed. I'm really happy that a nice small brewery has shown up and filled a hole in the local commerce and is doing a respectable job of it. Creative, tasty, enjoyable beers. Now let's read that label I've been tempting myself with. We spent the summer listening to a massive flock of gulls accumulate atop our production building in a haunting Hitchcock fashion. The gulls in downtown Olympia. Okay. We indeed began wondering, what is the shocking mystery of The Birds? Venture into this mildly eerie 1963 film if you have a little spare time, and perhaps you'll be dreaming of spending life naked in fountains drinking this beer. Don't ask why it's red. Maybe you don't go to bird shops ever. Okay, so it's an oh. I haven't watched The Birds. I've watched a couple Hitchcock films. They are very interesting and compelling stories, and what he does with the camera is really cool. He was kind of a trailbreaker, and some of his effects, you're thinking, that sketch, like it doesn't take much for me to see what's actually happening, but still, he was experimenting and he was pushing camera work in particular in service of the story, the drama of the story, really well. But the image on this can is of the birds. It's birds attacking a little boy, of course. Oh, that's horrific. Oh, that's terrible. And I'm guessing, yeah, The Birds happens on the coast of Northern California. I don't know if it's Bodega Bay specifically, but yeah, it's around there. I think I remember my dad mentioning that or talking about that one time. Yeah. Anyways, so that's the reference to Bodega Bay. That's the beer's reference to Bodega Bay. I gave you my reference to Bodega Bay. If you get a chance, it's beautiful. It's even beautiful in the summer. Bodega Bay is best without the sun. It's wild and beautiful and intense. Not terribly unlike the UK coast, the northern UK coast, actually, in some regards. Just really dramatic beauty. And this beer is not quite so dramatic, but is good for that. I definitely give it 3 stars. Creamy, surprisingly fruity, kind of this grape, but then also verdant and green, and just enough bitterness to keep the IPA fan happy, the hop head happy, and nice little amber red malt showing through. Yeah, so 3 stars out of 4. It's a good beer, and I'm enjoying it. This is me, Matthew, drinking and enjoying Spare Time in Bodega Bay, a fresh kiln red IPA by Ilk Brewing of Olympia, Washington. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.